We just purchased this brand new 23-foot Lance travel trailer, and I'm going to try installing a backup camera on it in this episode of Travels with Delaney. Welcome back, everyone. My name's Patrick, and if this is your first time here at Travels with Delaney, welcome. We're your channel all about RVing and living life to the fullest. So our trailer did not come with a backup camera. And honestly, I've never had a backup camera before, but all my RV friends said, hey, you ought to get one. They're really nice. And Haloview had reached out to me a few months ago wanting to give us one to try out. But at the time we owned our new Camp Tab 400 and I just didn't really see a need for it on that trailer. But once we purchased our new trailer, I decided to go ahead and reach back out, and they were really excited to send us this Haloview wireless dual channel rear view observation mirror dash cam. Boy, that's a mouthful. Now, I'm really excited about this one because it does a couple of things. Number one, it's a rear camera, but it also has a second camera built in the front for like a dash cam, and it'll be recording and things like that. But we'll get into that in a little bit. Let's go ahead and get started and unbox and see what we actually get. So this is the box that came to us. And again, thank you to Haloview for providing this to us for us to review. I don't very often, for those of you that follow our channel, you know that I don't very often accept items to review. But in this case, I had done my research and was very comfortable with Haloview and decided to go ahead and try it. Plus, there were several of you who had reached out to me asking me to review this Haloview because you had heard about it. So, all right. It looks like we got a couple layers here. In the top layer is going to be the mirror slash camera for the truck. Now, one of the things I really like about this model is, as opposed to like a square display screen, this actually fits right over your rear view mirror. And natural tendency, at least for me, is to always look in my rear view mirror. So I think that's going to be great to be able to look up and actually see what's behind me in my rear view mirror. The other thing I liked about this model, which is their brand new model, and I believe this is the RD10. I hear people talk about their cameras potentially losing signal between the end of the trailer and their tow vehicle. This actually has a booster that's going to go near the front of the trailer. That way there's no chance of losing signal. And then it looks like there's a couple antennas. They've included the cabling, which I believe is going to go between the camera and the booster. You got a mounting plate. Here is that actual rear view camera. And looks like we got some mounting screws, and then we have lots of different cables. This one, most likely because it has wires, is going to get wired into one of our rear lights for power. They provide you a bunch of clips. So when we go to the roof to put on this cable, we'll have a way to attach it, and it just uses, it looks like 3M. So that's nice for no drilling on the roof. And then there's our power cord for the display screen in the truck. So, all right, now I'll be honest, I'm not real good or handy at these kinds of projects. That's why sometimes I'd like to pay the dealership to put them in. But I think this will be a good test, because if I can do this, then probably you'll be able to do it too. So the first thing I need to do is go up on the trailer and remove a light and see if I can actually get to the wiring. Okay, step one, I removed the light, I found the wires. Now I just got to figure out how I'm going to tap into them. And then I also need to figure out where I'm going to mount the camera, just so I know I've got enough slack. So, nice thing is, this is just a trim piece. So I think hopefully I can mount it right in here and seal it up, and we should be good. So the way they do this is they're going to give us a cable that's going to wire in here, and then this is actually going to plug into your camera, which is really nice because it's going to give us a lot of extra that we may not need. I'm actually hoping to maybe mount it up here, but probably what I'll do is once I get it wired up, we'll try it in some different spots and check out the view on it before we mount it permanently. I'm always nervous about drilling into a brand new RV, but like I said, this appears to be a hollow plastic trim piece, and I think a couple well, it looks like 4 screws is what it's going to take. And then we will just use some Dicor or something like that to seal it up real good. All right, the light is removed. Problem, there are 2 black wires, so I don't know which one's positive and which one's negative. So got this little multimeter, just a cheapie from Harbor Freight, but it does the trick. I'm going to go up and I'm going to, basically I'm just setting this to DC, and then I'm going to kind of just push in on each wire, 1 black, 1 red. If I get a negative number, then I know they're reversed, and then once I put them both into the 2 wires and I get a positive number, then the red one will be the positive and the black one will be the black one. So it should be pretty simple. And then what I'm going to do is, they didn't give me, as with most wiring, there's not a ton of extra wire there. Now there's different ways you can wire, and I'm sure some people are going to say I didn't do it right. Actually, some people may say I did it right. I don't know, because what I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to strip back a little bit of wire. I'm not actually going to cut it. I see some people using wing nuts and that type of thing. I'm just going to pull it back a little bit, and then I'm going to take my solder gun up there. I'm just going to put a little solder, and I think I'm just going to solder it right to it, and that should do it. So, all right, I'm going to do that. Now I'm ready to go ahead and install the monitoring system here in the truck. And again, like I said, this looks just like my rear view mirror, and it's going to go right over it. It does come with a little antenna. What I love is, because there are 3 antennas that come with the kit, they have labeled all of them. So this one actually says monitor on it, so you know this is the one that goes to the monitor. And all this is going to do is, here on the back you can see we have these straps. It's just going to strap around our rear view mirror, make that real easy. And there's a place for the micro SD card, because it's going to record, and they actually include one. And then here's that dash cam, and what's nice is it will adjust to fit your rear view mirror. So then once we have that in, all we have to do is plug into a 12 volt, and that's going to power this. They even provide a little kit with some clips so you can route that cord, an extra fuse, and then there's even a little plastic tool that I'm assuming is to use to, if you need to pull things apart, if you want to tuck in that cable. So really nice that they think about just everything here. So let's see if we can go ahead, and yes, so this is going to need to move out for my mirror, because the truck is pretty good size, and it fits then almost perfect with this Tacoma mirror. So go ahead and strap up and around. You just got to get it in, and it will actually, yep, just like that. Now I may need to move my easy pass for the toll road, because I have a feeling that's going to be right in the line of sight of the dash cam, but that is easy because that's up there with command Velcro. So there we go. And the antenna will fit there just fine. I can adjust that. And what's great is, when it's powered off, it's a rear view mirror, so I can just leave it in the truck at all times. And then, like I said, all we have to do is go ahead and plug in, which I probably should have done before we got completely strapped in. Let's just go ahead and take it back off. But this is good, because this way you can see just how easy it is if you want to take this on and off. Because I do have the compass built in, and sometimes I like seeing my compass. So, but all right, let's go ahead and get the power cable plugged in before we put it up there. There we go, just like that. And then I'm gonna set this right back up. Like that. And then what I'll end up doing is, I'm going to end up taking some time. I won't show that on video, but I'm going to probably route it down, or maybe I'll route it that way. And got a plug right over here that we can plug it into. We're wired up. Let's test it out. Turn the truck on. My wife is holding the camera. We haven't mounted the camera because we want to make sure the wiring's working. And look at that, automatically connected. I didn't have to do any syncing or anything. Working. and then there's our forward facing camera. So now I'm just down to mounting the camera and then run the booster up, but that doesn't require any hard wiring. So yay, this was a lot easier than I thought, and we'll go ahead and get it all cleaned up. Okay, so now that I know it works, I went ahead and got the wires all put in here. I've just got it running out of this right along this channel. Now what I think I'm gonna do is I think I'm gonna mount this right here. That's we were testing, my wife and I, and it looks like right there will be fine. Because this is like a hollow plastic decorative trim piece, I think that will work perfect. We'll put it right here. I'm gonna use some butyl tape, I think, underneath, and then I'll use some Dicor on the screws. So then the only other thing I have to do is run that cable to the front. I guess I put my ladder here in the wrong spot. And then they send 3M sticky tape to do this up front. You could screw it in. I'm not gonna screw it in. I'm gonna try it with just the 3M tape. Hopefully that will hold it, because I definitely don't wanna screw it into the roof. So that'll run up. That's just that booster, and they have the little clips for it. So that'll be the next part. Go ahead and get that done. I now have it all installed, so you can see right up here, I've got the little transmitter. Now I currently I use the 3M to put it down. I didn't want to put screws into the roof, but I currently have, you can see these here, quick ties around our rail system. Eventually, if I can find some bigger ones that are black, I'll put them around, and that way you won't see them. And then I've just got it, and I don't think you can see it here, but it runs down. Now they give you a lot of cable. So if you have like a big 40-foot motorhome, you're gonna have plenty to run this. But because I had so much left over, you can see I just kind of coiled it here, trying to hide it behind this one right here. Zoom this out a little bit. And then again, I've attached it here just so it's not flopping around. And then I used their little clips all along the roof down to the camera back there. And then I actually zip tied it to our Max Air fan cover, just kind of hold it in place. Again, this cable's not heavy, so it should be fine. We're gonna be leaving in a couple days, so now that the camera's fully installed and it's operational, we'll give it a try once we hit the road. We've been on the road for 3 hours now using our new Haloview RD10 rear view or backup camera, and I have to tell you, this thing is phenomenal. I love the fact that it's up here because it's just natural tendency, like you're looking out your rear view mirror. Excellent picture, full color. I can see for the first time pulling a big trailer, I can actually see what's beside of me, and that's really nice. So we're literally on the south side of Chicago right now. Traffic is nuts, but because I have this, I'm having no issues. So I really like this. Now, with this screen, what we can do, right now I just have it in full view, but if I want, I can swipe over and get the front camera if I wanted to, or I can go to a split screen. So you have some options there. But for me, it makes most sense just to have it like I'm looking out my rear view mirror so that I can see what's coming up behind me. There's also some settings you can do in here, and what's a really nice feature that we didn't know is there's actually volume. And now where the volume's going to be nice is if Patty's outside the truck and we're trying to back into a campsite, even though I'm going to be able to see what's going on, she could actually talk to me while I'm in the truck. So she could be out back and say, hey, bring it on back another 5 feet, 10 feet, whatever. And I'm going to be able to hear her here in the truck. So that's kind of a nice feature. Now we can get to settings. I'm still trying to figure this out. Yep, just 2 fingers kind of spreading them apart. And you can see we've got buttons that come up and they do different things, but I'm going to come down here. One of them, you can shut the volume off. Let's do settings. And this is where you can get into your camera and the different settings. And here we can get into things like adjusting the clock, language, just all kinds of things. And this is touch screen, which is really nice. So just something else. What I want to do is go into play, and oh, here we go. Cam 1, cam 2. So let's see what we've got here. It looks like camera 1 we can actually go back and look at our footage. It looks like it puts it into, so camera 1's going to be the back camera. And then we can go back here to camera 2, and that's going to be our dash cam. So that's how you would use this touch screen to go in and look at your various things. So we're now 1,800 miles into our trip, and I honestly don't know how I ever hauled trailers before without having one of these. I absolutely love this Halo RD10 rear view camera. I love the way it mounts right here. It's just, again, natural tendency to look there, and the fact that it has this built-in dash cam and it's recording. Absolutely love it. Only issue we had was coming through the Badlands. The truck was reading like 98 degrees, and I think this monitor got overheated. We lost signal for a little bit, so we unplugged it, redirected air conditioning straight up, and 5 minutes later plugged it in, it worked fine, and we haven't had an issue since with that. So that's really the only thing, and I think it was just so much heat coming through the Badlands. But I love this one. It's the RD10. Again, it mounts right over your rear view mirror, and it also has that extra transmitter, so if you have a really long rig, you won't lose signal between the two. I'm going to go ahead and link down below in the description for this video directly to the Haloview website, so you can look this one up and check it out for yourself. A big thank you to Haloview for sending this to us so that we can try it out on this trip and share it with you. Till next time, everybody, we'll see ya on down the road. Good night.